Washington, Texas, Dave. What do you think?
I love this matchup, man. This is an exciting one. The more I've watched Texas down the stretch, the more I just think they are a complete football team like we saw from them earlier in the season. And then Washington, I mean, look, I had them in the college football playoff at the beginning of the year. I thought the only game they would drop was to USC. Man, they go unbeaten too. What's really interesting about this is Texas front seven and that run defense is so strong, right? But they've shown that they can be susceptible to the big plays down the field. Washington doesn't even want to run the ball, really.
No.
They have 3 NFL wide receivers and an NFL quarterback.
Washington thinks running the ball's for ugly.
We're past a run over here at Washington. Like, we'll throw the ball all over the yard with Rome Odunze and McMillan and Polk and Michael Penix Jr. I think he throws the prettiest ball in the country, to be honest. So I'm really fascinated to see, like, how does Texas's defense respond to the style that Washington wants to play? And then on the other side of the ball, I'm watching Steve Sarkisian dial up plays that just, it blows me away as someone who studies it. Quinn Ewers looks as comfortable in the pocket as he's ever looked. Oklahoma State couldn't stop them at all in the conference championship game. So both of these offenses, I don't know, what's the over-under right now?
Yeah, I didn't even know the spread and over-under.
64.
64.5.
I mean,
over.
Give me the over.
Yeah, what's the spread?
Spread is 4, Texas.
I'm telling you right now, this, and we always had that saying, I had a very, very smart man that's been involved in high-level college sports gambling for a long time say, if you have 2 explosive offenses, take the under and vice versa. It's going to be very, very hard for me to take the under 64.5 with what I just saw from Texas's offense. I know Oklahoma State's defense isn't great. Washington's defense is good. That's the reason they're here, right? Because it gave them balance. They weren't just a one-trick pony with a great offense and just trying to outscore everybody. They could win rock fights. But these 2 offenses are operating at such high levels right now. I think you could play good on defense and this over still hit.
You know, it's funny you say it because now I'm thinking about it. I think this game could play out a lot like Washington-Oregon did this second time because Oregon is a lot like Texas in terms of their balance and their defense. I mean, that game was, 34-31?
Yeah. So that would hit
65
the over.
Right there on the hook.
Hit the over.
Yeah.
I just, when I look at Penix, and the thing that makes it so tough, and there's a lot of guys with big arms. We looked at Joe Milton, big arm. But when you have the combination of big arm and feel, when you can make those nuanced throws and you can use the whole field and actually be able to throw from hash to underneath the numbers on the other side, your route combinations can encompass the whole field. You make the defense defend every single blade of grass. Washington doesn't just, their trick is they don't just stretch you vertically. That's what you think. Texas stretches you vertically a lot. Sark is taking shots on that third layer, that deep layer, to open up and give space on that underneath. Washington will say, all right, we'll stretch you vertically some, but we're going to stretch you laterally. We're going to adjust our splits. We're not afraid to throw it from one side of the field all the way to the other side of the field because Michael Penix has an absolute hose, an absolute cannon, an absolute howitzer. The dude can make every single throw. Whole shot versus cover 2, he laughs at it. He eats it for breakfast. The 9 route, laughs at it. The lollipop fade, he can throw it. Fit the slant in there, take some off of it on the dig, he can do it. Washington makes you defend every blade of grass. Texas makes you defend every blade of grass in a different way. I think Texas gives you more eye candy. That's what I love watching with Sarkisian.
Yeah.
It's the pre-snap movement. It's the pre-snap motion because he's playing a game of I'm going to find out. He's like that little redheaded chick in Wedding Crashers. Like when she looks at Vince Vaughn and he's like, I'll never leave. He said, I find you. Oh, he'll find you. And he'll find you with your pants down and not in a good way. What else is opening up? Holiday prepping. And we know it's a pain for some of you guys. It always feels like there isn't just enough time in the day. And by some of you, I mean all of us. And some people are just incredibly hard to shop for. Well, Black Rifle Coffee, they're here to keep you mission focused this holiday. Their December coffee of the month is Costa Rican Arabica coffee.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That sound right? Sound
Yes.
good? Okay.
I'd like to try it.
Struggle with that word. It delivers tasting notes of chocolate, citrus, and maple. Black Rifle Coffee is a veteran-founded coffee company that's operated by principled men and women who honor those who protect, defend, and support our country. So stop running out of coffee. Sign up for a coffee club subscription at Black Rifle Coffee delivered straight to your door on a schedule. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, at checkout for 10% off your one-time purchase or first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Promo code BOOSTER for 10% off. You can find it in grocery and convenience stores near you. But we all know You want to go to blackriflecoffee.com, use that promo code BOOSTER, and help out everybody involved in the situation.
This game is just, what's the weakness on Texas's defense?
Secondary.
It's their secondary. They've been exploited before. The front seven's great. Michael Penix and them are going to come out here and throw the ball as many times.
They may throw it 65 times.
As many times. They're not winning. They're not going to win between the tackles. The only thing they need to do is pass block, right? Who can get to who? I don't think Washington's going to be able to get to Quinn. That offensive line for Texas is for real.
Bama ain't getting there. Washington ain't
For
getting there.
real, buddy. So Texas right now can do what? They can control the line of scrimmage, and they can control the time of possession. I'm going to play a game. I'm going to keep it out of Michael Penix's hands as long as I can, so they can start it with the one. Xavier Worthy is healthy. He was in the boot after that game, but X-rays came back negative,
Really?
so he will.
You got a month.
He will be ready for this game. The more I think about it, I go with the team that can turn around and hand the ball off and get 4 to 5 to 6 yards. But what scares me is Washington's been that team this year that's been doubted, right? Well, I don't know if they'll beat Oregon, this and that. They're scary, and they're scary good. Michael Penix is playing at a high level. Odunze is a top 2 receiver in college football right now. This is going to be a hell of a football game, guys.
It is.
Hell. This might be, people think Bama, Michigan is going to be good, which it will, but this game, Texas and Washington, might be the best one.
Well, and I want to put Washington in the same category. Because I'm taking the over. I'm going to see if this gets bet down a little bit. I'm going to see if it goes down to 3.5. That way I can buy it down to 2.5. I want to see which way it goes. Or if it goes up to 7, I may take Washington. I'm going to go ahead and jump on the over right now. But here's what I will say. I think Texas got the best draw out of anybody. You say, Jake, why? Why do you say Texas, not Washington? Well, for this reason. 1, you're Texas. You had 1 loss. You don't have to play the number 1 team. You don't have to play Michigan, right? And Alabama got in. You don't have to play them either. Why is that important? Yeah, you beat them, but you know what's harder than beating a good team once? Beating them twice. Now, you may see them in the Natty. Well, that's fine. That's the Natty. We'll settle it then. But you don't catch them before. I think Texas ended up being the biggest winner out of all this in the Final Four. Because you dodged the team that you played before. You dodged the team that's going to have that motivation to go out there and beat you after what you did to them on their home field and almost keeping them out of the playoff. And you don't run into what we believe is the best team in the country right now that Georgia's out of it, in Michigan, right? And I know people argue Bama's the best team in the country, whatever, that's fine. But Michigan is number 1. You avoid the number 1 team, and you avoid the team that you played during the regular season that you beat that has double the motivation to beat you. I think Texas ended up getting...
That's interesting.
Pun intended, Texas had the best draw.
I love that, and it gets me thinking about last year because I've had so many Michigan buddies reach out to me saying, man, the one time that we get the number 1 seed, we would have to play Alabama. I get it. It's a tough draw. But
I wanted Georgia.
But don't forget, last year, you were in the other situation. Right? Like you drew TCU last year and you lost. And Georgia's sitting there as a number 1 seed, and they had to play the Buckeyes. And that game went down to the stretch. So look, that's just how it
That's
shakes out
That's a
sometimes.
great point, David.
Like Georgia got the worst draw last year as the number 1 seed. Michigan, that happened.
Look,
you know, if you're the real deal, go beat
Yeah,
everybody.
y'all have that beat Georgia practice or
You have
beat
to beat
Georgia
Georgia
week.
practice.
You're going to basically go play Georgia.
You switch it to Bama.
That's what you're doing.
If you're the
It's
real
Spider-Man
deal,
GIF.
go win the game.
Bama, Georgia, Spider-Man, GIF pointing at each other. It's basically the same thing. Same, but different.
Well, it's like, hey, oh wow, I got root beer. Oh no, I got Mr. Pibb, right? I wanted Mr. Pibb.
God,
Oh, I got
play
Mr. Pibb 0 sugar. Basically,
I'd love
pretty
to play
much the
Mr.
same
Pibb Zero
thing.
Sugar. I'd love to play Mr. Pibb.
You gonna hate on root beer like that?
Huh?
Root beer is the same thing as Mr. Pibb.
No.
Zero sugar?
I said root beer and then I changed it to Mr. Pibb. All right,
okay.
who we all know is the exiled brother of Dr. Pepper.
He did get exiled.
He did get exiled. Hey, YouTube, that's right. Got the Lady Ballers here. Maybe you didn't know. We have a sports show. Probably the best one you've ever heard about. Talk a little bit of everything. So thanks for stopping by. Going to be reacting to some clips from our new movie. It's got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Biggest launch in Daily Wire history. So go check it out if you haven't. Hit that subscribe button to this channel. Call us. Hop in the live chat. It's a hell of a time.